If you're watching this, you have officially survived Black Friday. Congratulations! So what did I buy on Black Friday? Did I overspend? Will I get buyer's remorse later? Well, I'm gonna tell you what I bought and why I bought it, and some thoughts on spending money on Black Friday. Let's go. Hello, my name is Adam Hessebom. I am a composer and a musician. I'm based in Malmö, Sweden, and on this channel I talk about my life in music, how I make music, how I manage my music business, stuff like that. And if you're new here, you should definitely be subscribed because I post a new video on topics just like this one every week. So when I post this, we will be 1 week after Black Friday, and I'm gonna tell you a bit about what I bought. But first I'm gonna tell you a little bit how my money actually works, because my business is set up like a private company, which means it's owned by me and also my wife. We started it by investing the same amount of money, so we own it together, 50-50. I am employed 100% in this company, and I do performance gigs, at the church organ. I do composition gigs for film, media. I make arrangement work, orchestration work. I sell my own sheet music of my own choral works online. I do a lot of things. And all of that money goes into the company, and from that company I pay my salary every month. I'm employed just like a normal person, and I pay the rent for the studio. I pay for bank fees, for bookkeeping fees, whatever have you, and I also buy tools that I need to make my job work. And that's good to know, because if you are watching this and you are like a hobbyist or an amateur and you don't run a business, then you should think different about these things. I cannot tell you how to spend your money, but know that there is a difference between running a business and doing it for fun. If you're doing it for fun, buy it for fun. If it's fun, it's your money. If you run a business, then you should definitely think a little bit different and think about it like investments. And what do I think about Black Friday? I think Black Friday is great because it's a great opportunity to make some, good deals. There are some scams out there, but there are a lot of really good deals happening on Black Friday. And Black Friday is in the end of the year, which means that I have, a pretty good grip about how I did financially this year. So what did I buy on Black Friday? Well, I looked into my books and I saw that there is a profit coming this year, and I decided to spend some of it on tools. But first, I spent some of it on my own retirement plan, because I am a business owner. I am responsible for paying my own retirement plan. And spending money on your retirement, it's not super sexy, but it's smart. But then I also decided to invest in some tools that I think I will have some use of. First of all, I bought an iPad, and I will use this on my church organ gigs, because I run through a lot of sheet music every week. I play so much music, and every week I print stacks of paper out of my printer, and I go and I play, and then afterwards I must decide, should I keep this? Should I trash it? I cannot keep everything, because then my house would be like full of binders of music. So that's for convenience and for practicality, and it will make my workflow better, and I can spend time on funnier stuff than, managing stacks of paper. Then I bought some gear for this channel actually, and I'm gonna tell you more about that in a future video. And spending money on this channel is a bit of a gamble because it doesn't make me any money. And usually you want to spend money to make money. I have some hopes for this channel making a little bit of money, but it's not like the sole purpose of me going here and talk every week. And then of course I bought some plugins. And I'm gonna show you like what I bought and why I bought it. And the funniest way to do this, I think, is to just, show you, right? So we're gonna open a session and I'm gonna, play you some music and use my new tools and, elaborate a little bit about why I bought it. Okay, let's dive in. The first thing that I spent my money on this Black Friday was to buy the Soundtoys bundle. Now, I think this spring or, sometimes earlier this year, they released a new plugin called Space Blender, and for a short period it was actually free. And now it costs some money. But I downloaded it when it was free, which meant that when this Black Friday came, Soundtoys made an offer to upgrade to the full bundle, because I already had one product, and I think I upgraded for about $200, and the bundle usually retails for, I think, $500. So to me, that seemed like a good deal. And in this bundle are plugins like, Echo Boy and Decapitator. I wanted to try Echo Boy for so long. And the thing about bundles is that sometimes bundles are, a bit of a scam, because they put things in there that you are not going to use, and then they trick you into buying it for more money. And that's not cool, I think. I think this bundle actually is huge value, and plugin bundles could be very good because sometimes it's just nice to have a wide set of tools. You don't have to have a plan for how you're going to use it immediately. Maybe there are a few of them that you know that you're going to use and how you're going to use them. But eventually you will find uses for other things. I have the plugin bundle from Arturia. I cannot remember the name, but I will flash it now. I have an earlier version of that. And when I bought it, it was for some specific plugins, I think. But I have ended up using, I think, all of them, because I learned how to use them and I could, start seeing use cases. And sometimes you're just experimenting with sounds and what if I throw this in? What if I throw this in? So plugin bundles could be a really good deal, and I think the Soundtoys bundle is a good deal. So I will just give you some first looks. So I have just, here are some Spiccato strings, and it's Spitfire chamber strings. And I'm just gonna try out some of these plugins. Let's start with some distortion Decapitator. I really like a little bit of saturation, distortion to my short strings. It warms up the sound a little bit, and I think it's very nice. There are a lot of tutorials on how to use these tools, and I have just opened them, so I don't really know. So I will just fiddle some knobs and see how it sounds. So this is some subtle distortion. Let's crank it up a notch. Cool. I I really like the sound of this plugin. Maybe Spiccato Strings is not the place to apply some heavy distortion. Could be cool. Let's try out some delay, some Echo Boy. Yeah, and as you can hear, this is a cool tool because you can add like this subtle delay to just give the audio some more space. Pair it with a little bit of reverb, and you have some, very good like foundation for good mixing. I think this kind of sound can actually benefit from this like dotted delay, and just go very easy on the mix knob. But Echo Boy can also be used as a very like creative tool. Yeah, there are some really spacey effects in this one. So the way this works is, you can set it to like different modes: single echo, dual echo, ping pong, or rhythmic, which is very customizable. And there, of course, is like a mix knob, a feedback knob, some filtering, and that's like the basic foundation of working with a delay. You can also, as you can see here, there are a lot of different like styles of delays, different type of tape delays, and also emulations of classic units like the Echoplex or the Space Echo. Also, so many different styles of delays. So you can have a lot of fun with this, and we're gonna have some fun with it pretty soon, I think. What else is in the Soundtoys bundle? There is a lot. They have something called the Effect Rack, in which you can like rack up different effects from the bundle. And I mean, of course, you can just use the plugins, in a row. But what's pretty neat is that there are global controls, so you can like input Echo Boy and some decapitator, and then you can set like a global mix control, which I think is useful. We also have this, which is an audio level destroyer. So if you want to destroy music, then go ahead. This is some heavy stuff. But there are also some creative, let's see if this one. This one, Crystallizer, which is a granular echo synthesizer. I don't think this is the right sound source to use a crystallizer on, but as you can see, you can get really creative with a plugin like this one. And what it does is it's sort of a delay, but it plays back like backwards and very like chopped up, and you can alter the pitch a lot. I also loaded up some drum sounds, like and it sounds like this. Let's do some delay on this one. I just loaded up piano, also Noir. Just show you that you can get pretty. Let's see. I'm just gonna load up a preset here from the Eurythmic on the Echo Boy. Yeah, and I think sometimes tools can really facilitate you coming up with stuff. So some of these plugins you can actually, can bounce ideas off of them and see what you get back. Okay, let's go back to the strings and show you this one. This is the Universal Audio emulation of the Distressor by Empirical Labs. And every professional recording studio I have ever been to has this one in a rack, and they actually have two of them because they are mono, so they use them, in parallel. But you only need one plugin because the plugin is in stereo. The plugin also has a mix knob, which, from what I understand, the rack version does not, and that's very useful, especially for a plugin like this one. And what it is a compressor. And it has some crazy settings and a lot of control over the harmonic content of your audio. So let's play some strings. And this is a pretty mild setting, but you can already hear how compressed it is. It's actually almost, it's a bit nasty, but And this is a 6:1 ratio. A more mild one would be this one. What it also has is this detector, which means that you can, if you put it in high pass mode, it will not compress based on the low frequency signals, which could be good if you're working with the drum kit. And that's nice. It also has some different modes working with distortion in the signal, which, and I'm no expert in this, but from what I hear, you can emulate different kinds of compressors using only this plugin and only different settings to the distortion. Yeah, like I said, I like a little bit of saturation to my short strings sometimes. Could be very nice. It also goes, 20:1 ratio. And this one, Nuke. And this is where the mix knob comes in handy, because you can really destroy your signal completely and then, blend it ever so gently. I think this can make for some good mixing opportunities. Let's try it on some drums. And as you can hear, you could really beef up your drums with this one. Then I went ahead to buy some stuff from a Swedish company that I've talked about before on this channel called Klevgränd Fosfat, which is, it's a Swedish word for a chemical compound. I cannot say in English, unfortunately, but it's a transient fertilizer. And phosphate is a common ingredient in fertilizers. And what it does, it adds like a sine wave to your, especially percussion. Very good. So I'm gonna try it on the drums here. Off. It adds some oscillator, I think sine wave, and some noise to your audio. And this is very good for drums and percussion that you want to beef up a little bit. Comes with a bunch of presets and you can go crazy. And I also bought, and I don't have a good audio signal to try it on, but I also bought the one called Knorr, which will add some overtones to very monophonic signal. So they call it a bass vitalizer. So this is what I bought on Black Friday. We have the Soundtoys complete bundle, the Distressor by Universal Audio, and two useful tools by Klevgrund for percussion and for bass signals. So do you think I will use them in my day-to-day work as a composer in my studio here? I think they will make some good additions to my toolbox. Maybe you are curious about what tools I do use here in the studio. Drop a comment below with a question and it could be a topic for a future video. If you thought this was interesting, then you should definitely hit like, subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers!